Well, let's move on with the story here with Stone Cold because listen, buddy, you finally get to work with him for the first time in the ring, and he returns from his injury. It's at 2000. You're hitting your stride. You're a big time star in the WWF. We all know it didn't take long because you're fucking Kurt Angle, uh, and it's at Unforgiven. Austin's return. You two run into each other for the first time, and you offer Steve your gold medals and friendship, like a nice guy, and he tells you can stick it up your ass, Kurt. He attacks you, throws your medals to the floor. But was this nerve wracking for you getting to work with this guy finally for the first time?
No, I was having an orgasm. I was so excited. I was like, this is fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is incredible. I was such a fanboy of him. He didn't even know it. Like, I see Steve and I'm like, oh my God, Austin stand next to me. And he's like, hey, what's up, Angle? Hey, what's up, man? I'd be like he didn't really affect me anyway. But I was so excited. I was such a fanboy for Steve. I absolutely loved his career and loved his character. It's something that I always wanted to do, but unfortunately I didn't get the opportunity to because they came up with this nerdy milk drinking Olympic hero character.
Which you're really good at.
I actually enjoyed eventually. I wasn't crazy about it at first, but eventually I did enjoy it. But, I wanted to be Austin. That's who I wanted to be.
Well, Kurt, once the orgasm was over and the post-nut clarity kicked in, what was Austin's advice to you? Did he give you any advice like, hey, man, do you remember him kind of just talking with you, giving you some advice about working together?
No, he didn't. You know what he did say, though? He said, I'm looking forward to working with you. Huh. So I guess he knew there was plans that him and I were going to be working soon, and or he just thought it was irrelevant that eventually we were going to work together. So, he was just saying, listen, I'm looking forward to working with you. And that was really cool.
But it had to be cool too, right? Because you've also, I know you're getting really good and you're confident and feeling yourself a little bit here, but you now are under the Stone Cold Steve Austin learning tree. I mean, this guy's been in the business for a long time, even prior to WWE. He was in World Class Championship Wrestling. He was in WCW. So he's been doing this for a while at this point. You have to be excited about, hey, I'm going to learn even more tips, tricks, and skills of the trade from Stone Cold.
Yeah, you know what? I will tell you this. I learned more from Steve than any other person in my career. Steve was very good at giving advice. He was really good at psychology, and he was incredible at calling it in the ring. We would have a match planned for 30 minutes, and we'd be wrestling, and I'd be like, okay, the spot's coming up, and Steve would be like, nope, we're going to do an alternative. And I'm like, holy shit, I was only in the business a year and a half, and here this guy wants to pull an improvisation spot. And I was like, holy shit, So what he would do is he would go off course, and then we'd come back on course. But he was able to adapt that way. He was so good at improvising that the matches always seemed better when he was calling it instead of planning it.
But like you said, that just made you better, and then you got your own confidence doing that.
Yeah, and I learned how to improvise because of Steve. When I wrestled The Rock, everything was planned, everything. And not that Rock couldn't call it in the ring. I never experienced that. I'm sure he could, but we always did everything that we planned out to do.
That was a lot like
Steve. It was different.
And you know who was like that a lot was Macho Man. I mean, back in the day, they always said that he was a planner. He was a detail guy, pages of notes.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, hours and hours go over the match.
And so there's guys that are like that, and then you have your guys like a Ric Flair, like a Stone Cold, and they're like, let's call it, And
Rick is the master. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Rick was incredible. Yeah,
and that can be just as magical.